So welcome back. It's the Born Again Biker channel and back for another video. And as ever, we do things very differently on this channel, and it's on graphics and lacquers, and it's basically sharing my memories of what happened back in the 70s when I was growing up, into the 80s, the great bikes and how things developed. Now, I don't profess to be an expert, but I've just got great memories and I know a little bit about bikes, as you know. So please comment below and share my videos and like the videos, please. So I really hope you enjoy it. So I couldn't really start this video without showing you a few 60s bikes, and sadly I'm not the man to talk to about, and that would have been this man. And this man is my dad, and back in the day he was a Triumph rider. Sadly he's not with us today to help me with this video, but I'm sure he would have done. So back in the 60s, BMW were very expensive as they are today, and I'm sure they weren't as popular as they are. They're very popular with the police, and the body work and the graphics and stuff were quite regal, really, and very, very classic looking. And that changed to me with this model, and then they went on to making the first GS, which was a real groundbreaker, and it really shaped the future for the brand. I look at the late 80s and into the 90s with BMW as a learning curve, really. They're getting the colours right bang up to date, and the graphics as well, but the designs weren't quite there. But what do I know, and how successful BMW have turned out to be today. So Kawasaki in the early 70s started making some mad looking bikes, and they just upped the business with the deep lacquer and the graphics, and that also transferred onto the racetrack, and team colours was now becoming a big thing, and that also appeared actually on the road bikes as well. So Kawasaki, going into the late 70s into the 80s, natural home for the new graphics and the colours with the off-road type bikes, plus the new moped market that they've just entered with a bright colour and great looking graphics obviously helps sell them the new machines. Obviously I can't miss this bike off. It's the GPZ 900 and its fame with the Top Gun film. They'd also tried films before this, but obviously not graphics, in Mad Max. And towards the late 80s they've got the racetrack feel about it with this 250, and what a great looking machine this was graphically and paintwork wise. And then the first Z10 around the late 80s appeared, and again great graphics. All round a great range of bikes from Kawasaki. So Yamaha, well, the look speaks for itself, really. They're very good at reinventing themselves, and again, like Kawasaki, they were straight out the blocks from the early 70s with great graphic designs and colours. And there's not much I can say, and on this I've just picked out the ones I particularly like, but the whole of the range graphically and this new trend of motorcycle was just great. And a lot of it went on into the 90s as well and beyond with the same type styles and reinventing themselves. Just a great brand for this type of thing. So Harley-Davidson, mid-70s. I'm not a historian on Harley-Davidson and I don't know a great deal about them, but I do know, looking at the magazines when I was a child, how the graphics looked on the bikes. Now this is obviously something to do with the history and ownership of different companies, but I really thought the graphics, made the bikes look so much different, and I hope you agree. But be very interested in the comments what you think of this type of bike. So we move into early 70s Suzuki, and what crazy machines they created in this 752 stroke. And it had the paintwork and graphics to suit it, really. It was just amazing. Great time in Suzuki's history. And I remember these when I was leaving school in the 80s, the X5, and again a bright colour. It's all to do with selling the bikes as well, and then the great range again in the 80s of the Cantona, and obviously this has been revisited today with the latest up to date models. It's just a great look, and then following on to the end of the 80s into the 90s. You've got again great design, great graphics, and Suzuki are just up there with the rest of the Japanese bikes. Just a great brand. So Honda. So I did put a bike in at the beginning, very traditional 60s looking bike, and I thought they were quite mellow at the beginning of the 70s, but I don't know. They did the Forders 4, and they did try graphically, but it wasn't really till the late 70s into the 80s. They really did take off. They've been concentrating on reliable type bikes, in my opinion, of course. And then they with the turbo versions and the great range of bikes they did through the 80s and into the 90s, they did catch up, in my opinion. And you know they were real class leading in every department, whether the engine and the looks. So I'm going to end the video, and I hope you've enjoyed it, with the Italians. Well, first of all, there's a Spanish bike here, the Ossa 500, great looking machine, and then Cagiva, and then we go on to the other great Italian brands, which were some of them are traditionally red, but obviously in these examples aren't, and it just proves that everybody was at the time having a go at different things, and to me it was the best time in motorcycling. But I'm pretty biased, of course. But I really hope you've enjoyed the video, and please subscribe, and I'll see you soon.